What's up guys, it's Trevor with Embers Living. Today I'm out here on my patio because today we're gonna talk about the Kamado Joe. Now you've seen a ton of reviews, you see us cooking on this thing all the time, but I've had this grill for a little over a year now. What I wanted to do is do a video 1 year later. What kind of shape is this thing in? What has been my experience for using it for the last year? And is it gonna become a permanent part of my outdoor kitchen? Let's go. All right, 1 year later, let's start with the aesthetics. Now, if you ask my wife, she would tell you guys that she absolutely hates it. She hates the red color. She thinks it's obnoxious. I don't mind it. Aesthetically though, it's been holding up pretty well. You can see the shelves have stained a little bit because I just cleaned these actually. And they cleaned up pretty good, but they're not really fading or anything, so that's good. And then of course our paint has held up really well. Our tower control, same thing. It's faded a bit, but it's not terrible. Aesthetically, I don't really like it just kind of here by itself. The one nice thing about keeping it on a cart away from the outdoor kitchen though, is I did use it all winter. So I could wheel it pretty close to my patio door. You can see the patio door there. I was able to wheel it back and forth pretty close. So that was helpful. So that's some of the sort of the aesthetics here. And all right, let's get on to the functionality parts. So as far as the components go, besides getting dirty, everything has seemed to hold up really well. You can see the spring, this thing back here was the thing I feared the most, was our hinge system sort of going out. But you can see it's holding it in place just the same as it did in day one. And the ceramic, I haven't seen any issues with the ceramic. You can see, I'll pull this apart to show you guys, but our ceramic bowl has all stayed intact. The ceramic itself, cosmetically, it's held up really well. Handles held up well. Again, our control tower has held up really well. So the one thing that has given me fits here is gonna be the gasket material. It still holds a perfect seal, but over time, it's almost like got so compressed, like so tight to this, that you really have to push this hard. See how hard I had to slam that? I had to like really slam this hard in order to get this to latch. And that's just, I think, because it's wearing out a little bit. And then here, you can see it's actually has pulled off. The fabric has pulled off here. So I think I'm gonna have to get this replaced. However, all that being said, it still holds a seal. When it's latched, that doesn't matter. That's pulling off. It's just more annoying than anything. So eventually I'm gonna need to replace that. Outside of that, it has held up really stinking well. I really don't have any complaints. For as much as I use this thing, absolutely zero complaints. I do think the quality of the product has held up really well, and that's because it's a good, well-built product by Kamado Joe. All right, should we talk about functionality, how I like to use it, things like that? Should we go into that next? All right, so as far as functionality goes, I'll start showing you guys some of the accessories here, some of my favorite ways to, after using it so long, some of my favorite combinations or tricks that I use to use this thing. I originally brought this out on the patio just to do some demo videos. As you can see, it was an afterthought in my outdoor kitchen. Wasn't really planning on having a charcoal grill in my outdoor kitchen. Right now I have a pellet smoker, I have an Evo griddle top, and this charcoal grill, and I was perfectly content with just those two. So I thought I'd use this a little bit and then eventually, you know, take it back to the store, sell it off, or do something with it. Wrong. This is now my favorite thing to cook on. I cook on this more than any of the other grills. I love it so much that I'm actually gonna be redoing this outdoor kitchen so I can get this integrated. Remember I said aesthetically, it's not my favorite sitting out here. I'm gonna actually be redoing my outdoor kitchen to make sure I can get this integrated into my outdoor kitchen. And I'll be changing up some of the grills because I have some feedback on using these, which is coming up in another video. But it is like the mainstay. It is like my favorite thing. And I think what makes it my favorite thing is the charcoal flavor, I think, is so good. You just really can't beat the flavor of the charcoal. And then also, I just like the versatility. I like that I can go low and slow, and I can sear and get super, super hot if I want to. So for example, my wife, usually once a week, we always do like chicken thighs or something. she likes those more blackened. So I go super, super high heat. When I'm gonna go really, really high heat on like chicken or something, I'm gonna just place these in the lowest setting here, see that? So just basically right above hot coals, right above a hot fire, and I'm ready to rock. But then also if I'm going low and slow, you can see with our tower system here, I have the option with our slow roller, which I store down here. I can put my slow roller together and then do it that way. So that's really cool as well. But let me show you my favorite combination. So one of my favorite things to cook on here is steaks. And so the way I like to do my steaks is I like to reverse sear them. So what I'll do is I'll put this, half moon ceramic plate here. And the reason we're doing that is when I'm smoking it at first, I don't want direct flame sitting right, my steak sitting right on top of direct flame, because we don't want to overcook it. We want to cook it nice and slow. Okay, so while that's going on that side, what I do is I set up the cast iron skillet with the grill grates on it. Now what's so sweet about this is even though you're cooking at low temperatures, while you leave this sit here, the whole time you're cooking, this thing is getting nice and hot. And then what's cool is you can turn it up right at the end. So what I'm gonna do is set up just like this to put my steaks here to get them to smoke. Meanwhile, this is getting nice and hot. And then when they hit about an internal temperature, about 110 degrees or so, what I like to do is open this up all the way, open up the lid, open up everything, get a lot of nice oxygen in there. What's super cool is when you do the salt, you could do just the cast iron cooking grate or the skillet. The reason I like the skillet is what I'll do is I'll throw some butter down on here, get some nice sizzling butter. You guys know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. And then I'll finish the steaks on this. That is, in my opinion, the best way, the most tasty steaks I've ever done is doing them that way. So I always like to do my steaks that way. So you guys can start to see if that's the best way I like to do them. And you're cooking steaks for a lot of friends and family or tri-tip or something like that, I'm really not gonna use those other grills as much as I use my charcoal grill because of everything that it can do. Again, it can do chicken at high heat, it can do chicken at low heat, it can do steaks. You can sear them off originally. You can reverse sear them like we just did here. Or we can go low and slow and do a brisket and get that nice charcoal flavor. Also, with this, we can put like little wood chunks or something in there to sort of enhance the flavor. Because before that, I was always cooking with pellet. I always thought pellet was the way to go because it ran just like an oven, is easy peasy. Until I really started playing around with this guy and I realized, you know what, this thing's where it's at. Now, as far as fuel types, I like to use either the Kamado Joe lump charcoal, and then my other favorite charcoal is this guy right here, is the Jealous Devil. This stuff is really good. What's good about it is it gives you a nice mixture of larger chunks or larger lumps, and then some smaller ones. So it gives you a nice little blend between the two. And you'll definitely, people always ask me, well, isn't it a pain in the neck trying to always refill this up? Working with this thing firsthand, it is always, I've never ran out of fuel. I've never had to try to refill it. So I've done a 10, 11 hour brisket, never had any problem with needing to refill this. So it definitely holds fuel well. The temperature does regulate really, really well. Once you can get it dialed in, it is absolutely spot on. As far as accessories must-have accessories to me, there's two. Is this cast iron half moon grate or cooking grate. You can either do this guy, the skillet version, or just the regular grill version, depending on your personal taste. Now the other must-have accessory, let's talk about the Dojo and the rotisserie, the Joe Tisserie. Personally, the Joe Tisserie for me, it works well. It works perfectly well. I just don't see myself rotisserie all that much on charcoal. It's more of like a novelty product to use it once in a while if you're doing wings or something. But I'll usually save rotisserie work usually for my gas grill, which I don't have right now. That's a little spoiler alert, new gas grill's coming out on the patio. But the Dojo works stinking awesome. Like you can have a full pizza party with your friends and family. It works really, really well. And it gets really hot. Like you can cook a pizza 30 seconds to each side. You kind of turn it. Like it gets 800-900 degrees, no problem when you close this lid off, and it really does work like a convection oven. So the Dojo is awesome. And then some of these half moon accessories are really cool too. Now let's talk about complaints. do I have any complaints with Kamado Joe? Outside of the gasket material, I'm not really worried about that. To me, that's a normal wear and tear issue. Probably gonna have to replace that every couple of years. The main thing with gaskets compared to other brands is you wanna make sure it holds a seal, that you're not allowing the temperature to fluctuate. And even with this kind of wearing out, it still perfectly holds a seal. So again, I'm not really stressed about that. Outside of this, I do have one complaint. And for me, this is the Classic 3. The Classic 3 is not big enough. We're a family of 4, and it's snug at times with just the 4 of us. So let me show you what I mean by that. For example, when you're doing this divide and conquer system, you already only have an 18-inch diameter cooking space to work with. Now you just cut that in half. So I only can have my steaks up here and here. I can fit 4 steaks for a family of 4, but it's tight. Like if you have guests, you're not getting any more than 4 steaks on this. And then last week, for example, we did chicken thighs, had a couple people over, so I think there are 6 of us here, and this thing was maxed out. So you definitely had no room for anything else, and you gotta be pretty talented in maneuvering stuff around, finagling stuff, because you're using every bit of the cooking space. That's my only complaint, is it's definitely functional for a family of 4, but anytime you have guests, it can start to become a problem. So I want it built in, and I want a Big Joe. So I'm gonna have to, you know, my wife's gonna have to look at even a bigger red grill. So I guess I'm just gonna have to do it, twist my arm. I'm gonna have to get the Big Joe. I'm gonna have to build it in. I'm gonna have to do a new outdoor kitchen, because those are really my only 2 complaints. It's not my favorite sitting out here next to an outdoor kitchen. I think it looks cool freestanding, no problem. Like if it wasn't next to an outdoor kitchen, like if it was just freestanding on your patio, I think it looks cool. I don't think it really flows with my outdoor kitchen vibe though on a cart by itself. So I'm gonna build it in, and I'm gonna do the Big Joe. Those are the 2 things I would do differently. Outside of that, it's awesome. You guys are gonna love this thing. I think you'll be pretty surprised with how well it holds up. It should hold up well. They're not the cheapest smokers out on the market today. So again, just to recap, holds up really well. Favorite accessories are gonna be the cast iron cooking grates and the Dojo pizza accessory. Gotta have that. Oh, a cover, of course. I never really cover mine. I think it would help with the weathering on some of this stuff if I covered it. And you gotta go with the Big Joe. Unless it's just 2 of you. Again, like I said, if you're 4 people and you don't have company a lot, or you're like me, you have multiple cookers, I think you could also get away with the Classic if you have multiple things to cook on. If this is gonna be your only cooker and you're at least a family of 4, gotta go with the Big Joe. That's my feedback. Again, it's completely changed the way I cook. This is all I use pretty much, unless I'm in a jam and I need to do something quick. Then I'll be getting a gas grill for that, or the griddle. Still use the griddle and stuff, things like that, but predominantly the majority of my cooking is done here. We have a fun new accessory videos on how to light this thing. Stay tuned for videos on that. Again, this is the Kamado Joe. This is my feedback 1 year later. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Stay tuned for more.